Luminous Labyrinth. The late-night glow of the city's neon lights cast a faint, restless shimmer across Leah's home office. Her computer screen, a vibrant canvas of code, continued its relentless scroll. Even with the final debugging of a major project complete and every line of code running flawlessly, her mind was a whirlwind, spinning at an impossibly high frequency. Complex logic loops, optimization strategies, and the ghosts of potential bugs chased each other in an endless mental recursion. A subtle weariness, tinged with a familiar anxiety, settled over her. She knew this restless state, left unchecked, would undoubtedly sabotage any hope of restful sleep tonight. With a soft sigh, the kind that held both resignation and a hint of longing, Leah's gaze drifted to the corner of her desk. There, nestled amongst technical tomes and a forgotten, now cold cup of peppermint tea, lay her VR headset. It was a sleek, elegantly designed piece, emitting a gentle, almost inviting, luminescence. This wasn't just any gadget. It was her personal sanctuary, a digital meditation portal she'd meticulously crafted for herself. Whenever the unyielding logic and mounting pressures of the real world threatened to overwhelm her, she'd step into this virtual realm. It was a space where chaotic thoughts could be transmuted into orderly tranquility, a digital haven. The faint, subtle scent of circuit boards mingling with residual coffee hung in the air, a testament to her long hours spent immersed in the digital world. Anticipation stirred within her as she contemplated entering this virtual world. It was a labyrinth constructed purely from light and data streams, each journey offering a unique path to serenity. Yet, tonight, an unusual intuition whispered in the back of Leah's mind. She wondered if this venture into the luminous labyrinth would simply be another quiet session of meditation, just like all the ones before. Or, perhaps, would it guide her towards a deeper, more uncharted exploration, beckoning her to uncover something she never knew existed within its shimmering depths? Leah gently picked up the VR headset, settling it firmly onto her head. As the device molded to her face, the familiar office environment began to blur, dissolving like an ink wash until it vanished entirely. The bustling city lights outside her window, the faint glow of her computer screen, the technical books scattered across her desk. Everything melted into a pure, profound darkness. In this silence, a faint hum, reminiscent of data streams, filled her ears. It was soft and rhythmic, accompanied by a low, comforting frequency resonance, like a distant lullaby, beginning to draw her consciousness into deeper layers. The hum grew clearer, and countless intricate, grid-like lines, formed from points of light, emerged in the space. These lines were not static. They converged from a distant void, extending outward like fiber optic networks, precisely interweaving and intertwining. As the points of light continuously aggregated, a colossal, complex, semi-transparent glowing sphere materialized. Within the sphere, countless streams of data light flowed gracefully, flickering like fireflies, their individual pulses hinting at entrances to the maze's depths, inviting Leah to enter. A cool, slightly electric scent permeated the air, portending a unique journey about to unfold. Leah felt her consciousness become extraordinarily light, as if freed from the shackles of gravity, slowly floating upward. All sense of bodily weight had dissipated, replaced by a complete relaxation and freedom. The tangled programming logic that had previously swirled in her mind now gradually dissipated with the appearance of the light network. She was no longer constrained by complex algorithms. Instead, she experienced a pure appreciation for order and beauty, a harmony emanating from the deepest layers of the digital world. She allowed herself to be fully immersed, feeling the gentle rhythm of the light streams, her heart filled with curiosity. She was eager, ready to enter this digital sanctuary, a place of infinite possibilities that she had personally crafted. Leah's consciousness gently settled, and she found herself standing on a circular platform composed entirely of flowing light. Surrounding the platform were several archways, each formed from pure, condensed light, emitting varying shades of blue, purple, or green luminescence. Beyond the archways lay deep, glowing network tunnels, softly inviting her to enter. Leah took a step, moving gracefully toward one of the archways that glowed with a soft blue light. The moment she passed through the archway, the platform behind her and the other arches instantly dissolved. She found herself within the first path of the labyrinth. This path consisted of winding ribbons of light, gently flowing beneath her. On either side of the path stretched an endless ocean of data points, flickering like scattered stardust. Above the path, shimmering geometric shapes hung suspended, silently arrayed like constellations, guiding her forward. A complete sense of integration emerged, gently enveloping Leah. The light softly enfolded her, causing her heartbeat and breathing to slow, resonating harmoniously with this serene environment. She realized that this was not merely a visual feast, but a profound guidance for her thoughts. Each step led her deeper into this world, composed of pure light and information. All distracting thoughts in her mind were replaced by this pure beauty, vanishing without a trace. She knew clearly that this deep peace and immersion were exactly the profound relaxation her weary mind craved. As Leah embarks on this radiant journey, where will the chosen ribbon of light guide her within the labyrinth? And what unknown landscapes will it reveal? And is the ultimate exit of this light network maze truly just a simple path to relaxation? Or does it conceal a deeper secret, waiting for Leah to uncover, to transcend mere digital tranquility? Leah delved deeper into the labyrinth, where the light network paths grew increasingly intricate. No longer a single extension, multiple light ribbons now intertwined and branched, sometimes converging into a river of luminescence, other times gracefully separating. The surrounding light became more dynamic. Occasionally, it cascaded like data waterfalls, forming spectacular curtains. At other times, it pulsed like a colossal heartbeat, emitting warm or cool glows. Leah followed a path shimmering with soft green, each step light and real on the flowing light ribbon. At a three-way intersection, the scene shifted. One path's light dimmed eerily, almost vanishing, while another grew remarkably brighter, as if calling to her. Guided by intuition, Leah unhesitatingly chose the brighter path, each step seemingly treading on flowing starlight. At a winding turn, she encountered transparent, bubble-like orbs of light gently floating. When her fingertips softly touched them, they produced crisp, pleasant, faint musical notes, like whispers. Leah's thoughts, like the labyrinth's light streams, became exceptionally smooth and clear. She found the maze's unpredictable nature strikingly similar to handling complex programming problems in reality. Both required intuition, judgment, and pattern recognition. But here, There was no error, only different choices and varying experiences. She deeply enjoyed this light-guided exploration, each step bringing new visual and auditory experiences, fully focusing her attention on the present. All external pressures and real-world turmoil vanished, leaving only pure immersion. However, are these constantly shifting light network paths merely guiding her to deeper relaxation? Do their every turn, every flicker, hide deeper labyrinth secrets, perhaps connecting to unknown realms within her own mind? What mysterious messages do those note-emitting light orbs portend? These questions, like delicate threads of light, gently shimmered in the depths of Leah's consciousness, urging her onward. Leah entered a spacious, circular chamber where light formed three-dimensional structures of countless tiny points. These points slowly rotated, aggregated, and separated, creating patterns as elegant and complex as mathematical formulas. At the center, a massive, transparent sphere floated, its interior filled with minuscule light points, moving in an incredibly complex, yet perfectly ordered manner. A living data universe. As Leah approached, she heard an unprecedented, richer melody. It was a multi-part chorus, a confluence of notes from the light orbs she'd touched earlier. She realized the sphere's light point movements and the melodic changes were interconnected, like a visualized audio algorithm of light, perfectly executing. She extended her hand, her fingertips lightly touching the surface, and a microcurrent-like energy transferred. Instantly, the light points accelerated into a more complex yet harmonious pattern, and the grand melody grew more vibrant, majestic, and beautiful, echoing throughout the space. A profound sense of peace and satisfaction flooded Leah. As a programmer, she cherished perfect logical structures and elegant algorithms. This space, brimming with the algorithm of light, offered the deepest harmony and order of the digital world, a pure beauty beyond daily coding. Her mind resonated strongly, and all disorderly thoughts were purified by this profound harmony, leaving her with unprecedented clarity, ease, and relaxation. She seemed to glimpse the soul of numbers and perceive the pulsation of information. Will this algorithm of light, woven from light and melody, guide Leah to the next stage of the labyrinth? Will it reveal deeper meanings about this digital meditation space, connecting numbers, logic, and consciousness? Or will it bring Leah a more personal, profound revelation, guiding her to answers for long troubling problems in reality? Leah continued her journey, the light network passages now transforming into rivers, composed of countless data streams. These streams shimmered with clear blue and silver light, cascading from distant high points, converging into broad channels of light that stretched out before her. The surrounding walls were entirely formed by these flowing data waterfalls, emitting soft electronic sounds like water, echoing throughout the space and creating an atmosphere both alien and comforting. Leah gently stepped onto one of these data stream rivers. She felt a gentle yet firm propulsion. The light current effortlessly propelled her steadily forward. She closed her eyes, immersing herself in this passive movement, feeling the subtle vibrations as the data streams passed by, as if gently embraced by a warm, invisible torrent of data. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself unknowingly floating to the center of an open lake of light. The lake's surface was as calm as a mirror, flawlessly reflecting the myriad suspended light point stars above, which twinkled to form a breathtaking digital cosmic panorama. Leah was completely immersed in this unprecedented feeling of zero-gravity flotation, her mind and body experiencing extreme relaxation and relief. She relinquished all control, surrendering herself entirely to the light current's guidance. This passive, effortless experience allowed her brain to enter a deeper state of rest than ever before. The gentle embrace of the data streams made her feel incredibly safe and protected. All worries, stresses, and complex thoughts from the real world had receded, leaving only pure, absolute tranquility and peace. She felt herself becoming one with this digital world. However, beyond peacefully reflecting endless stars, does this lake of light, formed by converging data streams, conceal other deeper secrets or guidance? Beneath the surface of the lake, or within the depths of those myriad light points, are there mysteries waiting for Leah to discover, or hints about the next step of her journey? Leah floated at the center of the lake of light, only now realizing that this seemingly tranquil surface was actually composed of countless slowly moving light ribbons. These ribbons intersected and weaved at different speeds and directions, forming an intricate, ever-changing network of choices, each path leading to a different possibility. In the distance, several luminous entrances were faintly visible, each revealing distinct light and shadow landscapes, hinting at their unique experiences. Leah knew she had to choose one of these light ribbons to leave the lake of light and continue her journey through the digital labyrinth. She tried to apply her programmer's logical mind, carefully analyzing each ribbon's direction, speed, and potential destination. However, the light ribbons changed too rapidly. Their trajectories shifted instantaneously, making them impossible to predict or capture with any logical model. After some futile attempts, Leah paused. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and released her need for logic, allowing her intuition to guide her instead. When she opened her eyes again, miraculously, she saw one particular light ribbon emitting a faint yet warm golden glow. This light seemed to softly call to her, guiding her forward. Without hesitation, and with a newfound trust, she gently stepped onto that mysterious golden light ribbon. Leah now experienced a challenge entirely different from her usual programming work. In the real world of code, logic was the sole, absolute navigation tool. Here, logic seemed no longer the only, or even the most important guide. She was learning to trust her inner self, allowing that deep-seated intuition to lead her forward. The moment her foot gently touched the golden light ribbon, a wave of warmth surged through her body. This trust and intuition brought not only a deeper sense of peace, but also an unprecedented self-confidence. She felt as though she was unlocking a new way of knowing. Where will this golden light ribbon, guided by pure intuition, lead Leah within the labyrinth? What new sights and experiences will she encounter on the path ahead? How will these unseen landscapes challenge her existing perceptions or further enrich her journey of consciousness, revealing deeper digital mysteries? A gentle golden band of light softly guided Leah, leading her into a new space imbued with warm hues. The illumination here was no longer the cold blue or green, but rather soft orange and golden yellow, like the lingering glow of a sunset stretching across the sky, warm and tranquil. Suspended within the space were translucent orbs of light, each emitting a faint luminescence. Inside each orb, a tiny golden thread of light, precisely twisting like a DNA helix, flowed slowly in an elegant and orderly manner, mysterious and captivating. Leah was drawn to a particular orb. She extended her hand, her fingertips gently touching the surface of the light sphere. The moment she made contact, the intricate golden light within the orb suddenly diffused outwards, transforming into a series of shimmering symbols. Though abstract and difficult to define with real-world language, these symbols evoked a strange sense of familiarity in Leah, as if they were a calling from the depths of her ancient memory, or the concrete manifestation of some profound ancient wisdom, perfectly integrated with cutting-edge digital technology. As these symbols slowly dissipated in the air, Leah felt a warm, slightly electric current flow gently through her fingertips, accompanied by a faint yet clear ding sound, as if directly from the depths of her mind, softly echoing within her consciousness. An ineffable sense of revelation instantly washed over Leah. She immediately realized that these seemingly abstract golden symbols might represent the maze's deeper operational principles, the foundational elements constructing this digital world. Or more profoundly, they were the wisdom hidden within her own subconscious, projected through this pure light and sound. This intuitive and perceptual experience gave her an unprecedented, deeper understanding of her inner connection. All the chaotic thoughts, the worries of the real world, and the entanglements of programming logic were now purified by this pure harmony. Her mind became exceptionally clear and serene. Her fatigue completely vanished, replaced by a feeling of newfound lightness. What unknown mysteries do these golden clues, manifested through the golden orbs, truly represent? How will they precisely guide Leah to find true and lasting relaxation and peace within the labyrinth? Or will they unveil deeper potentials within herself, ultimately connecting consciousness, intuition, and the digital world, bringing her an even more profound revelation beyond meditation? A gentle golden light led Leah to a grand circular hall, intricately woven from countless golden threads. The entire hall was bathed in a soft, warm golden glow, inspiring immense tranquility. At its center, all flowing golden clues converged into a softly glowing sphere, which slowly expanded and contracted like a giant breathing heart. On the surrounding walls, complex yet harmonious data patterns flowed, displaying the pulse of information with elegant grace. As Leah approached the central sphere, she felt a powerful yet gentle attraction. Its light softly enveloped her, and Leah's consciousness resonated with it, touching something deep within her soul. In that moment, a clear vision surfaced. She saw the entire light web maze. All paths, light flows, and symbols connected with unprecedented clarity, revealing a complete tapestry. She realized the maze's purpose was never a physical exit, but to find inner peace and profound insight through deep exploration. As this understanding peaked, the central sphere emitted a final, gentle pulse, then slowly dissipated, leaving Leah in pure stillness, completely embraced by tranquility. Leah felt an unprecedented clarity and immense satisfaction. She had found not only deep relaxation, but also profound insight into her self-awareness, thought processes, and the digital world's essence. The code, logic, and work pressure that once troubled her now became part of this harmonious whole, no longer burdens, but beautiful elements of her inner order. She knew she had found the exit to true deep relaxation, an exit not external, but deep within her own heart, within reach. Does this light web maze, woven from light and data, foreshadow a profound transformation for Leah in the real world? prompting a new perspective on her architectural design work. As she delves deeper into this ultimate peace, what further mysteries will this digital space reveal, bringing an even deeper sublimation to her consciousness? In a tranquil expanse of soft blue and silver light, Leah's consciousness drifted. The ground was not solid earth, but a serene surface of light water, mirroring her surroundings. Upon it floated lotus blossoms, coalescing from pure light and emitting a gentle glow. The water rippled with Leah's slightest movement, and within these ripples, reflections of cherished memories emerged. Yet these images were indistinct, fleeting, like dreams. Drawn by these flickering memories, Leah slowly bent, extending her fingertip to gently touch the surface. As her finger met the water, the ripples clarified, and miraculously, the blurry scene stabilized, becoming vivid. She saw coding projects she'd poured her heart into, lines of pulsating code reappearing. She witnessed joyous discussions with colleagues, solving programming problems, their laughter echoing. And then, the immense satisfaction upon successfully resolving a long-standing issue. These precious images briefly surfaced, then softly dissolved back into the water. A warm and profound wave of nostalgia washed over Leah. These re-emerging scenes reminded her of her initial passion and pure enthusiasm for programming, and how her efforts were ultimately met with wonderful rewards and inner joy. She felt deep gratitude and contentment, grateful for her past self and content with her present peace. These positive emotions deepened her relaxation, making her spirit more open and tranquil, as if breathing with the light water. She felt she had rediscovered a long-lost calm and strength. But were these memories merely random appearances? Or were they guiding Leah to discover some forgotten potential? Or perhaps were they the key to unlocking unknown areas within this luminous labyrinth, foreshadowing more significant revelations? As the ripples on the surface of the light water gradually subsided, the space surrounding Leah slowly transformed. She found herself within a colossal cocoon-like structure, woven from countless soft beams of light. These light rays, like the finest silk, gently yet resiliently intertwined, forming translucent walls. The cocoon's interior was bathed in warm, gradually shifting hues of pale pink, light purple, and goose yellow, creating a serene and comforting panorama. An inexpressible sense of peace and harmony permeated the air. Leah gently stepped into the cocoon, feeling the surrounding light rays softly caress her skin like tender feathers, bringing a comforting warmth. To her surprise, these lights were not static. Instead, they were weaving in an incredibly slow and orderly fashion, interpenetrating and converging to form one complex and beautiful digital pattern after another, as if invisible algorithms were meticulously operating before her eyes. When she closed her eyes, she could distinctly hear the faint rhythmic pulse emitted by these weaving lights, a sound like a gentle heartbeat, or perhaps an ancient and profound lullaby, softly echoing within the cocoon. Leah felt an unprecedented sensation of being completely enveloped and protected. The warm light and the slow, rhythmic pulse within the cocoon involuntarily reminded her of the most comforting and secure embraces. All external disturbances and the turmoil of the real world were utterly cut off by this cocoon of light. She felt her consciousness sink wonderfully with these weaving light rays. Her mind entering a peaceful, semi-dreamlike state. Her thoughts became as light as feathers. All burdens had been shed, preparing her for a deeper, healing sleep. At this moment, she felt utterly relaxed and free. However, what kind of dreams would this cocoon-like space, gently woven by algorithms, guide Leah into? What information or revelations would manifest in those dreams? And how would this information silently influence her deep subconscious, providing unexpected answers to her predicaments in the real world, or guiding her towards some kind of spiritual transformation? At the heart of the cocoon-like structure, light softly diffused, and Leah found herself floating in a boundless space composed of gently revolving halos. These halos, woven from soft light of varying hues, elegantly intertwined and coiled around each other, forming a ceaseless, graceful, infinite loop pattern. Much like a Mobius strip, the entire space was devoid of any sound, offering only a pure visual flow that brought forth ultimate visual pleasure and profound mental tranquility. Leah floated completely relaxed, her consciousness achieving perfect synchronization with the rotation of these halos. She felt her body and spirit reach an unprecedented state of balance and harmony, as if she herself had merged into these eternal loops of light. Each revolution of the halos was like a tender baptism, washing away every trace of her fatigue and anxiety, leaving behind a pure, deep serenity and peace. She closed her eyes, and amidst the eternal rhythm of the halos, she experienced complete relaxation, her consciousness gradually blurring, as if being gently rocked in a warm cradle, ready to drift into sweet slumber. Leah felt all her thoughts settle. The logic and rationality that once bound her were now completely released. She realized that true relaxation wasn't an escape from reality, but rather the discovery of an inner infinite loop, allowing the mind to operate steadily and rhythmically within it. She felt ultimate comfort and security in this peace woven by the halos. All resistance and struggle had vanished. She clearly knew that she was fully prepared to let her body and mind enter a state of deep restoration, a perfect sanctuary, transcending any physical boundaries. As Leah's consciousness gradually blurred within these infinite loops, would she be guided into an entirely different dream stratum? What kind of imprint would this depth of slumber, woven from digital light, leave in her profound subconscious? When she awakens from this unique digital meditation, how will this deep peace and insight impact her future in the real world? The infinite halo space where Leah resided now began to transform, slowly and gracefully. The halo's colors softened, becoming more subdued, and their brilliance gradually diminished. They transitioned from their previous vibrant hues to the tranquil tones of deep blue, emerald green, and dark purple, as if dusk were descending. The surrounding data streams also grew slower and sparser, with hardly any sound audible. A profound stillness increasingly enveloped the entire space. Lyra felt her consciousness gradually shift from an active state of exploration to one of pure tranquility. She no longer actively sought to explore or perceive, but passively experienced every subtle change in the light. Each dimming of the radiance felt like the gentle closing of windows of thought. She watched as the halo slowly merged into the darker shades, until, finally, all light in the space became like the faintest starlight in the night sky, sparse, distant, barely visible, dotting the boundless darkness, marking her entrance into deep slumber. An incredibly gentle, Almost imperceptible weariness slowly washed over Lyra. Yet this was not the fatigue typically caused by exertion, but a natural, serene signal preparing her for deep sleep. She released all her thoughts, allowing herself to completely immerse in this faint glow. Both her body and spirit felt an unprecedented relaxation and heaviness, as if her entire being was ready to sink into an endless abyss. She knew clearly that this was the sign of impending deep sleep, and she was fully prepared to embrace the serenity this digital world offered. When all the light completely dissipates, where will Lyra's consciousness go? Does this fading radiance mark the ultimate limit of the Lightweb Labyrinth, its end leading to complete unconsciousness? Or is it the entrance to another dream, where a new journey is about to begin? As almost all light dissipated, Leah's consciousness found itself enveloped in a cocoon formed by an extremely faint, nearly transparent glow. The boundaries of this cocoon were almost imperceptible, yet she could distinctly feel it breathing softly and rhythmically. Each inhale and exhale brought a wave of warm, reassuring air, gently caressing her very being. Although the space within the cocoon felt incredibly confined, it was filled with the deepest sense of tranquility Leah had ever experienced. She felt her body gently floating at the cocoon's center, as safe and completely protected as if she were in a mother's womb. In this absolute silence, she could hear her own slow, deep breathing and the faint, steady beat of her heart. These were the only external sounds she could perceive, acting as the most primal rhythms of life. All intrusive thoughts were utterly consumed by this ineffable, absolute serenity, leaving not a trace. Leah felt an unprecedented sense of security and protection, so intense that she completely let go of all her defenses. This cocoon of light seemed like an unbreakable sanctuary. All tension and anxiety swiftly dissolved within this gentle embrace, turning into nothingness. She clearly knew that she had reached the peak of relaxation. Her mind and body were entirely ready to enter the deepest level of sleep, allowing every cell to receive the most thorough rest and repair. In this absolute tranquility and the gentle embrace of the cocoon of light, how will Leah's consciousness transform? What kind of unconscious state will she experience within the cocoon? Will this guide her into the complete abyss of the subconscious, allowing her to touch upon the deepest mysteries of her mind? Or will this ultimate peace open a door for her to higher levels of revelation? Leah's cocoon-like space gradually darkened until every faint glimmer of light completely merged into the profound depths of darkness. At this moment, there was no light whatsoever, only an endless, soft, and heavy silence. Everything around her vanished. The concepts of time and space became meaningless, leaving only Leah's own consciousness, enveloped by an unprecedented, weighty, and warm tranquility, as if returning to the most primordial void. Leah's consciousness slowly and completely sank into this boundless darkness. All her perceptions gradually faded away. External sounds, tactile sensations, and even the lingering remnants of vision thoroughly receded. She felt like a light feather, silently and effortlessly descending into an incredibly soft cloud. There were no longer any worries, no longer any tangled thoughts, only the deepest level of peace and thorough rest. Her body and mind found their ultimate refuge in this pure darkness and tranquility. She had fully entered the deepest, sweetest state of profound sleep. Leah's mind had now completely let go, entering a state of ultimate comfort, almost beyond description. She knew she had reached the end of this digital sleep aid journey, and both her body and mind would be thoroughly repaired, and nourished in this pure darkness and tranquility. This was a complete surrender, a feeling of fully entrusting herself, being unconditionally embraced by a chasm-like gentle calm. All pressure, worries, and those lingering lines of code logic had drifted away, leaving no trace. Leah's consciousness continued its descent, transcending the confines of all light and form, entering a realm of pure tranquility. Here, there were no longer any visual or auditory stimuli, only an invisible yet vast deep blue field, like the boundless bottom of an endless ocean. This field was imbued with an indescribable, immense pressure, yet simultaneously it was supremely soft and encompassing, as if it were the universe's beginning and end. Leah felt like a single drop of water, slowly and steadily merging into this boundless, deep blue expanse. With each downward movement, she experienced a deeper layer of release and liberation. All lingering thoughts, all the weight of the real world, were gently absorbed and dissolved by this silent, deep blue, leaving no trace. She was no longer an independent she. Instead, she was thoroughly integrated with the surrounding stillness, completely dissolving into the depths of unconscious, pure existence, experiencing true void and completeness. Leah felt a sense of complete surrender and an unprecedented freedom. She let go of her ego, let go of all attachments and control over time, space, and even existence itself. This profound and boundless silence soothed her soul more effectively than any light, leading her into a state beyond mere calmness. She knew she was entering a dreamless, utterly restful state, where every cell of her body was receiving the most thorough repair and regeneration in this perfect stillness, preparing to embrace a brand new beginning. In this boundless, deep blue tranquility, what state will Leah's consciousness ultimately reach? Will she discover a peace deeper than dreamless sleep? Or will this final descent leave an indelible mark deep within her consciousness, resurfacing in unexpected ways in the future? Leah's consciousness was fully immersed in the core of the deep blue field. Here, the concepts of time and space had completely vanished. There was no beginning and no end, only an eternal and absolute silence, like the origin of the cosmos, yet also resembling the ultimate destination of all things. Occasionally, there would be a subtle, almost imperceptible, low-frequency resonance, like the distant vibration of a planet, barely detectable by any sense, yet omnipresent, gently reverberating through this boundless void. Leah's breathing became exceptionally slow and deep, almost imperceptible in its flow through her body. Her heartbeat, too, grew remarkably faint and steady, as if it had merged with the silent yet powerful frequency surrounding her, synchronizing with the pulse of the universe. She felt her body become incredibly heavy, as if firmly drawn by an invisible gravity, yet simultaneously light, like floating in zero-gravity space, held in a peculiar balance. Her consciousness entered a waveless state, completely unifying with this unbroken silence, achieving true emptiness. Leah experienced a tranquility that transcended the limits of all senses. This was no longer simply falling asleep. It was a complete reset of consciousness, a total cessation of all thoughts. She no longer thought, no longer perceived anything external, only pure existence, floating in the infinite void. This unbroken, beginningless and endless silence allowed her to reach the deepest level of inner peace and inexpressible liberation. However, within the core of this ultimate silence, what kind of profound restructuring would Leah's subconscious undergo? Would this pure stillness perform a thorough baptism and renewal for her spirit? When she finally emerged from this silence, what kind of rebirth would she carry? What kind of profound insight and tranquility, transcending her past, would she bring back to the real world? Leah's consciousness was gently embraced by this absolute stillness. It was a warm, invisible force, enveloping her in the deepest sense of security, transcending the limits of all her senses. In this moment, there was no light, no sound, only the purest, softest darkness, like an Yunsha womb, offering her complete sanctuary and nourishment. She existed in a state of utter nothingness and complete fullness, sensing the deepest mysteries of the universe. This darkness was not empty. Instead, it was filled with infinite potential and healing power, drawing her into a state beyond everyday experience. Leah's consciousness slowly and completely dissolved into the embrace of this boundless darkness and stillness. All boundaries blurred, and the concepts of self and everything around her vanished. She became utterly one with this pure rest, indistinguishable from it. This was not an end, but a deeper, more powerful beginning. Her body and mind, in the depths of unconsciousness, were being thoroughly repaired and renewed by this unconditional tranquility. Every cell, every inch of skin, and even the deepest fragments of her consciousness were gently soothed and reconstructed in this sacred silence. She had completely fallen into the deepest, most secure state of healing, as if returning to the mother's embrace, gently swayed by the rhythm of the universe. Leah reached the deepest peace within her, all resistance and tension completely released, leaving no trace. In this pure darkness and stillness, she felt immense comfort and security, as if she had returned to the primordial state at the beginning of all things, before consciousness was differentiated. She clearly knew that at this moment, her body was undergoing the deepest healing. Every cell was nourished in this silence, accumulating the most abundant energy and vitality, preparing for the upcoming new day, new challenges, and new awakening. This profound rest was not just physical recovery. It was also a spiritual baptism and rebirth, allowing her to re-emerge from the abyss of the digital world in a new, clearer, and more powerful state. All the pressures of reality, worries, and the persistent programming logic that once lingered had now vanished, leaving no trace, only pure peace and rebirth.